So let me jump in today. I don't want to ever say jump in again. I never ever want to say that again. I hate myself when I do that. That sounds disgusting. Just keep all this in there, okay?
Yeah,
What's up, Fellowship Youth? I'm so excited to be with you guys again this week. I hope quarantine is going well for you. Nothing seems to have changed for a little while, and it seems like nothing will change for a little while. So we're kind of stuck here in this loop of quarantine, and I'm sure some parts are really good and some parts are really annoying, but at this point, you're just going to live with it, aren't you? Because that's kind of where we're all at this point. Either way, I hope that your quarantine is going all right. I am praying for you guys. I miss you. I can't wait to be in this room together again. It's going to be an exciting time. It's going to be a great time, and hopefully that will be soon. But for now, we're going to start a new series called Love Hate, and we're going to talk about the things that as Christians that we love to hate, or things that are misrepresented of us because we really hate them, and we shouldn't. We should act better than that. That's kind of an overview of the series. But for today, we're going to clue in on one thing specifically. But just to intro all this, there are a lot of things that we love to hate. Tom Brady. I don't even need an explanation for that. You either love him or you hate him. But you always love to hate him because the man is so annoying and he wins at everything. And it's really frustrating to me. But there are a lot of things that we just love to hate because it just comes naturally to us, right? It's just an easy thing to do. But we run that direction even though love is really a big deal for all of us. It's something that we're always chasing, we're always pursuing, we always want in our life, but we're not so quick to give it out to others. And that's where this backwards kind of problem comes from for us. You see, we live in a culture that, we love to hate on people. We like roasting each other. We watch, that's half the YouTube videos that I've watched in the last week are roast battles and stuff about people just trashing on each other. That's only half accurate, but that's something that just as a culture, we love to do. And like I said a minute ago, we don't always just give out love the same way that we give out hate. And so there's an imbalance there, and that's a problem for us. And there's a lot that we could say about the different ways that we hate on people and stuff like that, but because of our limited time, I just want to talk about kind of one topic, and it's gossip. Okay, gossip is the killer of many things, okay? And what you think makes you happy is actually rotting a lot of your relationships because gossip is not good for you in the long run, okay? I know that you might enjoy it. I know that you like sipping the tea with your friends, but it's bad for you, and it's bad for your friends too, and we're going to walk through some of that today because there's deeper underlying issues behind what gossip is. That's just what I want to use to frame it today. So you may be thinking about it at this point I don't talk about other people, but I know other people who do all the time. But the truth is that we all do. We all gossip. I was just gossiping about half of you guys with Josh and Jared because they're here filming me. I was talking about you guys, just saying. That's a joke. I actually love all of you very much. But anyways, why do all of us have such a strong attraction to trash talking and name calling, gossiping, and all of those things? And I think there are a couple of really big reasons why we do. And our insecurities are a big one. And we hate to admit that, but we talk about other people and what they've got going on in their life because we're not always proud of what we have going on in ours. And we always want to put ourselves on a pedestal above them. It's easy bonding. Man, that has got to be the easiest, most simplest way to bond with people that you just moved into a school with or that you just moved into a new job with, is to start talking trash about the people who are losers that you work with. I don't have any losers that I work with, except for Pastor Matt sometimes. Just kidding. Totally just kidding. Pastor Matt's not a loser. It's fun to trash talk people. It's easy. It comes easy to us, and so it's fun to just do that with each other. It gives us the competitive advantage. We feel like if we can air out some things that are just trashing on other people when they're not in the room, that, it kind of gives us the advantage over them in certain times, and we can kind of get that load off our chest with other people. Sometimes the fact is, it's just the truth. And this is the one thing that being true or right about something, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't do it because gossiping about somebody could be something that's true in their life. It could be something that's true about who they are, or what they do, or how they act, and why they're annoying. It could be true. It could be real. But that doesn't make the gossip okay. And then the last one that I kind of thought about was innocent intentions. Sometimes we just intend to talk about another coworker with our boss so that our boss will notice the bad things that they do. And very, very quickly, that can turn into gossip. Sometimes we want to talk about our other friends at school who were kind of a jerk to us last weekend. very quickly that can turn from, oh, they were kind of mean to me last time we hung out, to really terrible things, really trashing on people, and really rotting relationships between you. And gossip is not just a high school thing. It doesn't just stick with you while you're in school. This is going to happen for the rest of your life. You're always going to be gossiped about or gossiping to other people. That's a reality that I didn't realize until I was also out of high school, that it just kind of continues. Nobody really grows up. So you look at adults and you're like, wow, they've really got it put together. They don't. I promise you. You may not understand that yet, but they don't, okay? Most of them don't. And most of them still resort to gossiping all the time in order to make themselves feel better or to get over a certain thing about somebody else. That's a normal thing, and it doesn't just stop in high school. Gossip is just a naturally accepted part of our culture, but there's something inside of us that we all know that it's not good for us. And that's the tension of this, is that that's the one thing that basically everybody can agree. It's not a good thing. Do we do it for fun? Absolutely. Does it make us feel good sometimes? For sure. It absolutely does. But deep down, we all know it's not good for us. It's not right. And everyone knows gossip is a bad thing when it's about them. But in a culture like ours that loves to hate on people and ideas, sometimes it even seems impossible to stop. But there's been a lot said in the Bible actually about this topic, a lot written on this topic. And it may not always use the word gossip, but there's a lot of things that Paul writes and says, especially in the book of Ephesians, about building up other believers and about what comes out of our mouths. That's really important. So Ephesians 4:29, the A part of that verse, so it's like the first part of that verse, it says, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths. And that is a very simple thing. And a lot of people just take that and say, oh, you know what, that just means that I shouldn't cuss. Sure, that's a good idea. It's probably a good way to take the scripture, but also there are much more unwholesome things that come out of my mouth when I'm gossiping about somebody, when I'm trashing on somebody else who's a child of God. The fact is, this verse is much more widespread than just saying a bad word. It's much more, it's a bigger deal than just stubbing your toe on the end of your mattress and letting something out of your mouth that you probably shouldn't say, okay? Everybody's done that, okay? No judgment here, but this verse is bigger than that. You see, this letter was originally written in Greek, and it's the book of Ephesians, and so it's written in Greek by Paul. And if we were to look at the original word for unwholesome, so it says, let no unwholesome language come out of your mouth, this word literally means rotten. It means don't let any rotten words come out of your mouth. You see, talking trash or gossiping, it rots friendships. It tears them apart from the inside, and you can't always see the effect until things blow up and break. That's how rotting works. It hurts your relationships. It hurts your reputation as a person. Everybody looks at you different when you gossip about other people. And this isn't what we want to produce in our lives, is it? We don't want people who are around us to think that we're just like rotten. We don't want people around us to think that there's no way that I could have a relationship with them because they're just the worst. We don't want that going out from around us. But it's not just about things going on around you with gossip. It might actually be an indication of something unwholesome or rotten that's going on the inside of you. Jesus himself talked about this. In Mark chapter 7, verse 15, it says, it's not what goes into your body that defiles you. You're defiled by what comes from your heart. See, more than the words you speak, it's about the motivation that causes you to say certain things or to participate in certain conversations that you know that you shouldn't. It's coming from a deeper place. And that's the deeper issue that I want to talk about today. Deeper than just gossip and talking trash about people. It's about where your heart's at. Because, like Jesus said, it's not what we put into us that defiles us. It's what comes from our heart. And so if you really hate someone enough to say awful things about them and to tell their secrets to other people and stuff, there's a much bigger thing going on in your heart. And that's the root of the issue that I want to get to today, is that the overflow of your heart shouldn't be hate. It should be love. Because as Christ followers, that doesn't mean that we're perfect, but it does mean that we're progressing. And if we're progressing, that means that we love people better and deeper every single time that we see them or talk to them. And if you're not pursuing that, then you have some priorities in your life that need to change, because loving has to be the outpouring of our heart. I want to go back to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29 again, and I'm going to read the beginning part and then read the rest of it real quick. It says, "Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen." You see, if you choose to build others up, care about their needs, and help them, you'll choose words that benefit them instead of bash them. Okay, that's the point. If you care about somebody, the little things that annoy you or the little things that you know you could talk trash about them with, you'll let those go out the window. You'll let those things not satisfy you in a conversation about gossip and about trashing on people, and you'll replace those with encouraging words for them. Now, I always lived by a rule when I was a kid, because I'm from the South, and this is what my mama always said. She said, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. That's a pretty classic saying that's everywhere, but that's not altogether true. Because if you don't have something good to say, you should find something good to say. Because there is good in everybody around you, okay? Especially those who are believers with you, those who you go to church with, those who you're in youth group with and who you're in ministry with. They might annoy you about some things, but there is something good about each and every one of them, and God calls them his children, which means he's accepted them, that they are loved in his eyes. And if we're trying to actively see the world the way that Jesus does, that should be our first step, is loving people better by treating them the right way with our words, with our mouths. So when it comes to your conversations, it isn't really a question of what to say or what not to say, what's too far, what's not too far. The real question is, what do you want to be about? Do you want people to think that you just hate on everybody else? Do you want people to see that you're a Christian and say, you know what, well, he's probably just really judgmental of everybody. Or she just writes people off every time she meets them. She's around them for 1 minute and she doesn't like them. Or she just bounces from group to group to group and is never really friends with everybody but just wants to be in a group. Do you want to be that kind of person? Do you want to be about that? Or do you want to be about love? Do you want to be about accepting people so that they can belong not just in a friendship, but in heaven, in eternity with you? That's why it's important to choose love every day, every conversation, every minute, every moment if you have to. We create habits for ourselves, and if you choose these things, loving people will become easier. Finding the good things about annoying people will become easier. I'm sure there are plenty of people who have given me the benefit of the doubt even though I was annoying to them. And I'm thankful for all of those people. But today you just need to ask yourself the question, what do I want to be about? Is it love or is it hate? It's not always that black and white. But in most everything you do, it absolutely is. So today, let love be what you're all about. I love you guys and I miss you guys, and I can't wait to have youth again with you on a Sunday night. We'll see you next time.